Good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly Kane, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Wonderware, California. Thank you for attending our Learn in 30 webinar today focused on InTouch Machine Edition. After the webinar this morning, we will be doing a short Q&A. Please type any questions or comments into the Q&A box, the chat box, or you can email us at webinar@california.wonderware.com. Now I'd like to introduce your presenter for today's webinar, Mike Lapitan. Mike is an automation industry expert and has been a Wonderware California product specialist for the past 10 years. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Learning in 30 InTouch Machine Edition webinar. As Kelly mentioned, my name is Mike Lapitan, and I'm a product specialist here at Wonderware, California. We're going to do a short introduction on Wonderware, California, as well as an overview on what InTouch Machine Edition is, and then we will get into the demo of InTouch Machine Edition and show you what it looks like in runtime and the development environment and how to do some basic configuration. So Wonderware California is your local Wonderware resource, and we provide certified training, technical support, and free hands-on getting started workshops at our San Francisco and Irvine offices. You can find our training and workshop schedule at california.wonderware.com and more product tutorial videos on our YouTube channel. Wonderware California provides industry-leading application consulting based on 25 years of automation experience, and we also provide professional IT services to help you get started with your projects, and we can provide servers and computers pre-installed with Wonderware, as well as virtualized and high-availability systems. And if you're looking for a resource to help you with a turnkey project or general programming assistance, we can introduce you to one of our 120 registered system integrator partners here in California. This is our local support team based here in California. Many years of experience, and we get great feedback in the field on our support, on their responsiveness and their expertise on the Wonderware product line. Upcoming events, next week we actually have a plant reporting made simple workshop in San Francisco for Thursday, February 23rd. There's a few seats available for that. You can register for our workshops at california.wonderware.com. And if you'd like to come to an InTouch Machine Edition workshop, we'll be hosting that in March in San Francisco and then in April in Irvine. And then our next Learning in 30 webinar will be at the end of March on InTouch and Orchestra Graphics, so stay tuned. We also have our Spring User Conference coming up. In Southern California, we'll be at 5 different cities in March, and in Northern California in May, we'll be at 3 different cities, and you can register for those as well on our website. A little background on Wonderware. Wonderware was the first Windows-based HMI software on the market, and an original application from 1987 can seamlessly be upgraded to run on Windows 10 or Windows Server 2016. Used in 1/3 of the world's plants with over 1 million licenses installed, Wonderware is the #1 HMI on the market, and we're widely known for our ease of use and scalability, allowing you to get started quickly while providing a platform to grow with your business. And Wonderware is owned by Schneider Electric, a $26 billion company specializing in efficiency technologies, which make Wonderware a proven low-risk investment with global support. So what is InTouch Machine Edition, and what is it not? It is not InTouch, as the name might lead you to believe. So it does not use Window Maker or Window Viewer if you are familiar with InTouch. It is a new HMI SCADA software, and when I say new, it's new to most of you, but the product has actually been around for quite some time. A few years ago, Wonderware acquired a company called Indusoft. And so it is a mature product, and it's new to the Wonderware community for most folks, and we've been supporting it now for a few years. So again, it's not new, but it is new to the market, as branded as InTouch Machine Edition, and it now has been integrated into the Wonderware family. So what it is it's easy-to-use HMI SCADA software that's very cost-effective, compatible with all PLCs. It's web-enabled, smartphone-enabled, data logging-enabled to SQL, Historian. Our cloud historian has native data logging, works on any operating system. It's great for OEMs and end users, and can be bundled with Wonderware touch panel hardware. So as I mentioned, it's supported on any operating system, meaning if you've got a small touch panel application, you can run that on Windows CE, which reduces the hardware costs and the software costs. We can even run down at the Linux layer on a Raspberry Pi, for example. We can run on Windows Embedded Standard, which is kind of in between Windows CE and a standard Windows operating system, again reducing your costs for smaller applications and touch panels. And then we can also run on a standard operating system, anything up from Windows 7 to Windows Server 2016 now. Same development environment for all of these applications, so regardless of the target platform, it's one single development environment. And there's native thin clients that which make InTouch Machine Edition very powerful in terms of getting your application out to people who need to access it. In the form of web thin clients as in Internet Explorer, ActiveX, I'll show you that today. You can run a copy of the application on another computer using what's called the Secure Viewer Thin Client. That's another ActiveX technology. And then we also have the Studio Mobile Access, which is using an HTML5 browser. So if you've got a phone or a tablet, you can access the application via Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer or Firefox. It doesn't matter which browser you use, you can access your application. Here's a pricing example on a touch panel, 15-inch Wonderware InTouch Machine Edition touch panel with Windows CE and a 100-tag system, $1,995, very cost-effective. Want to upgrade the operating system to a Windows Embedded Standard 7 operating system, more functionality, more capability with the Embedded Standard versus CE, $2,350 for the touch panel, the software, everything that you need to run your application out in the field, very cost effective. And of course, we have all different shapes and sizes of these, even a headless option that's just a embedded box PC without a touch panel for somebody that might just want to use the web clients and have the box PC maybe in an enclosure. These come with a 2-year overnight advanced exchange warranty. It's the same tech support that you call for that you would normally call for Wonderware. So if you ever have a question about hardware or need a replacement, you call our same support team, and they're very familiar with supporting this hardware. Great specs, quad-core Celeron, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 or 32 gig solid-state drives based on if you go with the CE or the Windows Embedded Standard, NEMA 4X, and fanless. So great pricing there, you know, very competitive. So it's a great OEM and end-user solution. If you want to go to a full runtime license, something that's not on an embedded operating system, but it's like a standard Windows 7 or Windows 10 or server operating system, we have a development and runtime package with 1,000 tags for $3,080, and that includes a web client, includes a secure viewer client, includes the mobile access client. You can connect to any PLC. You can do native data logging. You can get do alarming and remote notifications, all with that package there. So again, very cost-effective HMI SCADA solution. If you want to add 4 additional web clients, then for $5,500 and change, you can get 4 additional web clients. So now you've got, you know, the whole organization accessing the system here, you know, all for a very affordable price. Here's just a sample architecture. You might have Machine Edition running on the control room workstation, connected to the PLCs or the RTUs, and then all of your clients in the field are connecting to that computer, again, from a laptop, a smartphone, or another office workstation. In a manufacturing or food and beverage environment, for example, same thing. You might have a workstation or server running Machine Edition, and then everybody around the plant can then access the application. The data logging is very good, so you can do native data logging for trending. It can log directly to SQL Server, which is very popular, but then even better, we can log directly to the Wonderware Historian. We can log to Wonderware Online, which is our cloud-hosted historian. So that's a very easy setup, and it allows you to get your data in a place where you can have great reporting capabilities. Some folks will add dream reports even to InTouch Machine Edition, and that makes for a great, simple, cost-effective, all-in-one HMI SCADA and reporting solution. So you can just have Machine Edition logging to SQL and then use dream reports, which has a native driver to Machine Edition as well. So great all-in-one package with Machine Edition and whatever reporting tool you'd like to use. We can import Allen Bradley tags directly from an Allen Bradley PLC into Machine Edition, as well as convert a panel builder, a panel mate, or a factory talk application into InTouch Machine Edition, which is really exciting. So if you've got old panel mate panel views in the plant that need to be replaced. They're starting to become end of life. There's no longer a replacement. We can convert that application to Machine Edition, save you a bunch of money, and give you better functionality. Same with Factory Talk, get you into a HMI SCADA package that's much more affordable, user-friendly, and web-enabled. We can do direct tag integration with Siemens and Automation Direct as well, and some others, not just Allen Bradley. So we can do that with the Schneider Unity PLC as well. There's free online training for Machine Edition. If you go to indusoft.com, the complete training is available online to you. So that's a great way to go and get educated, and you can do that directly on the website, indusoft.com, and go to the training videos, and those are all available organized by subjects. You can just watch the subject of interest to you, including web thing clients, mobile access clients, reports, trends, and graphics and tags. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the demo part, the fun part. Here's the example Machine Edition application. Just want to show you some example graphics. I've got a trend here with kind of vertical orientation. Just some different industries here. I've got maybe a robot here and an automotive plant. I've got a wind farm, and I'm tracking the energy being produced by all my turbines. I've got a food and beverage plant here that allows me to do some batching, batch reporting, so this recipe management capability. I've got water and wastewater, so I can monitor my water wastewater application and control the application. There's just another wine application where I've got maybe a irrigation, looking at the different zones, and then I've even got some cameras embedded inside of my application here so I can see what's going on in the different fields. And I could just look at some of these other tanks in my winery here. I've got some different controls here, sliders, and then cork manufacturing here. So again, looking at how much product am I producing, and what products am I running, and so on. Some additional just general features here. We've got some animations, bar graphs, and text displays, and graphics, commands. And so I can click on a text display here. I can use Machine Edition for data entry, including using mobile devices. And then I've got list boxes and drop-down boxes, radio buttons, smart messages, list boxes. Trending, built-in trending is very simple, very user-friendly, very easy to use, and alarming, of course, as well. Okay. I also want to show you an example application using indirect tags. So this is a very popular subject. Folks want to create a single graphic for common equipment, and then they want to display different equipment using that same graphic. So I'll go ahead and show you that application here. So here I've got a basic pipe here that's got several different valves, and I might want to turn these valves on and off and open up a faceplate here to turn a valve. So I can open and close this valve, take it out of auto mode, put it in manual, and so on. So what I want to show you here is this command screen here, this faceplate, is the same faceplate for all of these valves, and we're dynamically changing what tag we're linking to using indirect tags. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into, remember I've got two screens. There's my command screen, and here's my main screen. And if I go into my project tag list, I can see I've got a tag called @X. So X is going to be my indirect tag, and in InTouch Machine Edition indicates it's an indirect. And you can see that these are all part of a class. So the class is called CValve. And so if I go look at my class, CValve contains all these other tags: on, off, auto manual, status, and message. So if I come back in here to my screen, I can see that if I open up my valve and I go to the command, I can see that the tag is X, and I'm going to open up FCV_1000. And I can see the command of where I'm going to open up that faceplate, so the location and the size of where that faceplate is going to open up. So I can see there's that .message. That's part of my class. I can go ahead and open up then my command here, and so I can see that the limit expression is that @x, that's my indirect tag, and then the .on/off is that Boolean tag that was part of the class that allows me to toggle open and close. So again, we've got, this is a sample application you can find right on our website. If you just search indirect on the InTouch Machine Edition website, you will find the sample application, and you can use it as a starting point to get started with indirects. Okay, now let's continue on with some more configuration. Going to jump into another virtual machine. So I've got InTouch Machine Edition here on my desktop. I've got the development environment already open. If I was going to connect to a PLC for the first time, I'd come here to Project, go to Communication. And again, if I was using an Allen Bradley PLC, I could simply do this direct tag integration, click Add, and you can see all the PLC families that we support direct tag integration for. This allows you to import your PLC tags. So I can say this is an RS Logix, and I'm going to call it Logix. And then I'm going to go put in the PLC address, and then I'm going to go browse for my L5K file. So L5K file, that comes out of your control of your RS Logix program. It's a symbol file. All right. So once I do that, then if I want to embed a graphic, for example, or I'll just say a text, just say pound here, and I want to then have a tag linked to that graphic, I can go browse my devices, and there's my Logix PLC. Here's my program. So here's my tags inside of my PLC program. And so I can select from those, and I can import them. I can bulk import them. So if I import those selected tags, then they'll show up in my tag list. So this is a way I can bulk import tags directly from Allen Bradley and other PLCs. Okay, just going to delete that for now. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my tag list here, and I'm going to create a new tag. And so this is where I can just easily create new tags. I can copy and paste from Excel if I want to, or Notepad. I'm going to create a tag called level, and it's going to have an array of 3. And I'll show you what that means. So basically I'm creating 3 different tags there, level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm actually creating level 0 as well as part of that array. So there's actually 4 tags. But we're just going to use level 1, level 2, level 3. And then we are going to open up, oops, clicked around too fast here. The next thing we're going to do is go into our Modbus driver, and we're going to show you communication to a Modbus device. And so what I'll do here is come to the Comms tab, and if I wanted to add a new driver, I'd simply right-click on Drivers and click Add or Remove Drivers. And here's my 240 different PLC drivers. You know, a comprehensive list of PLC drivers, whatever you need, it's there. So now I've already got my Modbus driver sheet configured, and so what I've got is the IP address of my Modbus PLC, and then I've got the item address of my Modbus item here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this int tag that I've already got, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a Notepad, and I'm going to bulk create some tags here. So I'm going to say, you know what, this is actually going to be level with an array of 1. And the address is going to be the next Modbus register, and then I can just start bulk creating some tags here. Control V, paste, and this is going to be level 2 and level 3, and Modbus register 40,004 and 40,005. And now I can just copy and paste, put those back into Control V. So now I've got 3 new tags, and I'm going to save and start my project. Click the play button on the top here. And so now what I can do, on the bottom here I've got what's called the database spy, and I can, for example, put that tag here in my database spy. I can see a good quality value, good quality data. I might force that value and say, hey, I'm going to put in a value of 55. I can go and open up my Modbus PLC, and I can see, oh, yep, I put a change, wrote back to my PLC, and then maybe I want to write back from the PLC to Machine Edition, say 99. and I can see that reflected here in the database by. So without creating any graphics or screens, I can actually make sure I've got good quality data coming into Machine Edition. All right, so now I've got my level tags here. I'm going to go ahead and create a new screen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this template screen. That's kind of my default window size here. And I'm going to create a new window by right-clicking on it. Coming up here to the menu and doing a Save As. And I'm going to create a new window called Tanks. And now I've got a new window called Tanks. I've got my menu window here. I'm going to create a new menu button to navigate to Tanks, and I'm going to do that by holding down Control and then dragging my alarm button, so that duplicates the button, and then I can double-click on that button there and say, instead of opening up my alarm screen, this one's going to open up my Tank screen. And the button, so up here on the right-hand side, you can see the different properties this button has. It's also got a button with caption, and so my caption will also be Tanks. Great, so now that'll navigate to my Tanks window. All right, let me go ahead and open up my graphics here under Symbols right here. And open up my system symbols, and you can see here's where our graphics are, so I can kind of just browse here through some of these different graphics, quickly. But the one I'm going to use is my Tank 01. Put that in there. And I'm going to double-click on that and assign a tag to it. And I'm going to assign that level tag that I previously created. And I'm going to use a array for this tank. So I'm going to go ahead and type in index. And index is not a tag, so I'm going to create it. So say yes. And I'm going to create a new tag called index with an array of 0, and then it's an integer, and then I can make the scope server or local. So remember, Machine Edition is great at thin clients. Local means that thin clients will be able to see different memory tags, hold different memory values than what the server is holding. So if I want all of the memory tags to be global, then I would choose server. If I want thin clients to locally be able to hold different memory values, I would use local. So I do local, and that's all I need to do to animate my tank there. And then next thing I'm going to do is add a slider. So I'll come back here to my symbols again and go to sliders. I'll pick this slider 01, put that guy here, and I'm going to also link my slider to level with my array called index. And I'm good there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text. So you can see I've got this graphics ribbon up here. I could open up symbols from here as well, but this you can see this is where my drawing tools are. I can enter all those active objects, the combo boxes and text boxes and data objects. We're going to use some of these animations if I want to make a graphic a command or change the color of it or do a fill animation. So I'm just going to start with the text here, and I'm just going to put in a pound sign and then animate it. So the caption is going to be tank colon, let's say pound, and then we're going to have a text data link, and the tag expression is going to be index, and it's going to be input enabled, so that way if we want to, we could change the tank number right from this value. Say OK. And then lastly, I'm going to create some radio buttons so I can pick which tank I want to use. So we'll go ahead and pick a radio button, this guy right here. And I'm going to open that one up. And the caption here is going to be tank 1. And the tag for my radio button is going to be index. And the value is going to be 1. And then I'm going to duplicate this radio button just like I did with my menu button by holding down Control and then dragging down with my left click. And now I can change my caption and my true value. And we'll do it one more time for tank 3. Tank 3, true value 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and test what we've done so far. So I can click Save, and then I can just jump back in here to runtime, check my tanks menu button, and then I'm going to select tank 1 there, And I've got a slider, and I'll select tank 2, and I'll adjust the value of tank 2, and all while actually writing back to my PLC. So I can actually see here that if I want to change the value of tank 3, I can see that changing over here. Okay, so I see that all my animations work. All right, so that's using arrays, similar to what we did with indirects, but just a different way to accomplish a similar task, using one graphic to display the value of multiple pieces of equipment. Okay, great. So that worked well. Let's continue on. And next, we're going to go ahead and do some alarming. So we'll just close this for now, close this. And what I'm going to do is now come to Tasks and create a new alarm sheet. So I'm going to right-click and click Insert, and I'm just going to call this my group name Alarms, and save it as Sheet 1. And now when I come back into my tag list, I'm going to go to Temperature and go to Properties for my temperature tag, and I'm going to enable my alarm limits here. So I'll say that I've got 90 is my high, 80 is my high, low will be 20, low will be 10, and then I can have messages here. So I'll just say high, alarm, high, alarm, low, alarm, and low, alarm. Okay, not really creative there, but it gets the job done, gets the point across. So now we can go ahead and jump to our alarm window. Let's go to our alarm window, and we'll embed this alarm control here. And we'll open that up. And we don't actually need to do any configuration here. We'll just leave the defaults. And let's go ahead and add another slider. So we'll click on Symbols, and we'll use slider 2 this time, and open that up and tie this to our temperature tag. Click OK, and save, and then let's go take a look at our application. I've got my alarms and my slider, and I can see now my live alarms here that are coming online, and I can acknowledge those alarms and clear them. Okay, so that's the basics of showing an alarm display. And so notice I'm not actually having to close runtime. I can actually just save changes, and the runtime automatically saves those changes and uploads them. So now let's go ahead and create a trend screen. So we're going to do that by enabling data logging. So I go into the trend folder and clicking Insert, just like we did with alarms. And this is where I can specify, do I want to do data logging natively to the proprietary history? Do I want to do data logging to a SQL Server database? So I can choose lots of different databases here. Or do I want to log to the Wonderware historian? And if I log to the Wonderware historian, I can do it to an on-premise or a cloud historian. So by doing this, it will automatically create the tags, the Machine Edition tags in the historian, and start doing data logging. So this is great, again, if you want to just put Machine Edition all around the world, all around your plant, and then have it do centralized data logging back to the historian. Of course, the historian is a very powerful reporting and analytical tool, including our cloud version now, which is very, very attractive for people that have geographically distributed assets. So I'm just going to do the proprietary, the local history here. And I'm going to add my cos wave and my sine wave to data logging here. And I'm going to save on trigger. It's going to save every second. So I'm going to click Save. And I can close my trend sheet. And then I'm going to go open up my trend window. And I'm going to embed the trend data object. So we'll go ahead and open that up and double click on it and add some default points here. So say I want to add my cos wave and my sine wave and give it a color. And I'll give it a label here. It's just going to be the same label as the tag name. Okay. And now I'll go ahead and save that and go back over to my runtime project, open up trend, and look at that. I've got trending and data logging. So pretty easy gets the job done. Very powerful, actually, as well. So now that I like my project here, I'll go ahead and stop my project. If I wanted to, I could import my Factory Talk application by coming to Home and coming to the Import Wizard. And this is where, oops, I've got to close all these tabs here. I could import my Panel Builder, Panel Mate, and Factory Talk ME and SE applications. So that's awesome. We have another video that shows you how to do that, and we have tech notes, so you can always get those from us. All right, so now I'm going to go make this application web-enabled. So I'm going to go to Publish, Save All as HTML. I'm going to start my project again, and I'll minimize everything. And I'm going to open up Internet Explorer. And I've already got it saved as my home page. So now I've got InTouch Machine Edition running inside of Internet Explorer with my trending, my alarming, and my tanks, as well as the other screens that were already there. So that's awesome. Now I can access my application from other computers and other devices. What about if I'm an existing InTouch user? Well, we do have existing InTouch users, and they still want to use Machine Edition for local touch panels. So right from my standard InTouch application, I've now got a web browser, ActiveX, inside of my InTouch application. And look here, I've got my Machine Edition application embedded here as a Internet Explorer, ActiveX, and there it is inside of my InTouch application. Okay, so finally, let's go ahead and download our application to a touch panel. So I've got a touch panel running, and what I'll do here is come back into my project. And I'm going to connect to my touch panel by clicking Connect. There's the IP address of my touch panel. I can connect to it. I've got security enabled. And I know we're coming up on our 30-minute deadline here, so that's the last thing we're going to show here. And so now I'm connected to my touch panel, and I want to download my project. So I click Download, and let me go jump over to my touch panel application. If I can get there. There it is. Okay, so here's my touch panel. You can see that it's got this little remote agent installed on it, and it says that that it was updated with success. So there's that IP address that I just connected to. I'll click Start. And I could also click Start from my development environment, so I can start and stop the application on the touch panel from my my development environment. So in just a moment, I'll have my Machine Edition application running on my touch panel here. And here it is. Great. So now I've got it running on my touch panel, in the browser, and locally on my server. So I think we've got pretty close to meeting our 30-minute deadline here. If you have any questions, we've got a chat panel in WebEx. And Kelly, do we have any questions?
We do have a few that have come in. The first one is there a read-only option?
Yeah, so the application can be configured as read-only. Yeah, absolutely. If you want somebody to just have view-only capability and not be able to do control, you can do that through security, based on login, who has the ability to actually do control or have read-only capability.
Okay. And then the next one is, my system integrators ask if their consignment development license can develop the InTouch Machine Edition runtime.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mentioned we've got a lot of system integrators out there, and this is a great fit for system integrators, again, who just need an HMI they can, it's going to get the connectivity you need and functionality the customer needs and great hardware specifications, and your existing Wonderware system integrator consignment license fully enables and supports InTouch Machine Edition. So for our system integrator friends out there, if you like to start developing with Machine Edition, we'd be glad to send you a link to download it, or you can, of course, download it from the Wonderware support site. and we'll get you up to speed.
One more question. What version is this software?
What version is the software? It's version 8.
Okay. And I think that is it. We did have a question if this webinar was recorded. It was recorded, and we'll be converting it to an MP4 here shortly, so it will be available on our website and on our YouTube channel this afternoon, and we'll send you an email when it is available. One thing I did want to mention, Mike, the Irvine date that you're showing there for InTouch Machine Edition, this week there was we discovered a conflict with the training room, so it's actually been moved to, in Irvine, it's been moved to May 10th. So we do have InTouch Machine Edition workshop in San Francisco on Thursday, March 16th, and then we have Irvine on Wednesday, May 10th. So if you found this helpful, be sure to join us for one of our free workshops. But thank you, Mike. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And again, you'll be receiving an email shortly once the recording is available. Everyone have a great weekend.
Thanks, everybody.